everyone to Unarmored Talk Podcast. We got another amazing guest, but this guest today, again, we've known each other since the 1800s. This is my brother, family member, retired Sergeant Major Cortez Brown. What's up, man?
What's going on, Mario? How you?
I'm still short and kicking it. Y'all know I don't have that special button, so I'm gonna hit that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
There
you
we go.
short and powerful. You know how I feel about you. You,
We get in a
you
bar fight. I'm only hitting people in the thighs and below, bro.
That's where you get them at. Got to break down the tree. You got to break down the tree. Start from the bottom to the top.
But before we get into this amazing episode, everyone, get on my TikTok, man. If you ain't on TikTok, get on my Instagram, get on that Facebook, check out some of those funny videos that my wife and I started. That actually it's for humor, but it's accurate for folks who are veterans and you kind of
Hmm.
struggle with translating those military terms to your civilian counterparts. So check it out. If
Yes,
you want to
sir.
laugh, check that sucker out, man. Again, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing. And last but not least, thank you for all the
Yeah.
charitable support for Still Serving Incorporated. www.stillservinginc.com. Go there and learn more about what we're doing here in North Carolina and Pitt County, that is, before we get to North Carolina. We're done with all of that intro stuff. Sergeant Major retired Cortez Brown, everybody. He did about 38,000 years in the Marine Corps. He inspired the hell out of me, still does. Please, can you tell the listeners and viewers a little bit about yourself, Sergeant Major?
Okay. I am Sergeant Major Cortez, tired. 35 years, United States Marine Corps. Um, Various elements of the every facet of the Marine Corps Ground Task Force. So I did just about every element: drill instructing, recruiting, I inspector, instructor, duty, grunt, artillery. I just people, and it's just being able to surround myself. Joint billet. I retired from the Naval Central Command over in Bahrain. So working for a three-star admiral in the unit. I was the senior enlisted advisor for the Combined Maritime Forces. It's a 38 nation coalition of
Wow.
various nations coming together to combat counter-piracy in the Middle East, which we all know the Red Sea, the hot topic with the that I'm gonna say the name Houthis and all that. That piece, that's the place that I was the senior list advisor for. So I saw a lot of things coming. I saw all the things that are happening now being perspective or projected to happen. So
Mm.
um, it was pretty ideal. And then once again, dealing with people. So uh, then for my makeup and my background, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy dealing with people, and it's is something that I look forward to doing uh, post military. So that's where I'm at. Um,
Yeah.
Married. I'm here at my probably wondering where I'm at. I'm here at my wife's university, Sousa Pacific University here in Covina, California, and I'm just here waiting, supporting her. So my friend Mario, a longtime friend, he asked me the question, what where am I? What am I doing? How am I transitioning? And then
Yeah.
it's one of those things. And it's like we spoke about, I'm stopping. I'm learning how to slow down. I'm
Yeah.
learning
Well,
how to slow down. It's just amazing. And it's amazing when you slow down and you stop. So now it used to be situation, act, instant obedience to order, discipline. Now I stop, pause, reflect, analyze, then act. So it's
y-
like went from a two-part process to a four-part process for me. So
yeah.
I've slowed down, and you'll be amazed when you slow down and you just. And then now it's scary because I've been having nightmares. I was like, whoa, I made some fast, hasty decisions in my time, but because I didn't have no time, I didn't have
Well,
time.
well,
I
let's
didn't
well
have.
let well let's talk. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Before we jump into what is that? What are we talking about? Just so everybody knows, you guys heard Cortez give his kind of brief professional introduction. But for the listeners and viewers who have never served in the military, we're talking hundreds of thousands of people that
Mhm.
Cortez has interacted with directly and indirectly in
Mhm.
30 plus years of service. I just want to make sure that's not lost. That's a lot of people
Oh, yeah.
around the world. So that
Yes.
skill, and I've seen him personally, his passion for people. But now let's jump into the topic, Cortez. And you kind of alluding to it. From my basic understanding, our basic conversations is that since you've been out, you've had time to slow, like you said, slow down, stop. Wonderful acronym, by the way,
Mhm.
where now there's some self-reflection occurring, which is a choice. How
Mhm.
has that journey been?
I'm gonna be open with you and honest.
Yeah,
Scary.
unarmored talk.
It's scary. It's
Yeah.
scary in a sense because wow, okay, now that I can stop and process and analyze things before I act, I feel like I make a much, much, much better uh I'm much better decision on whatever that may be. And I'm
Hmm.
talking about personally and professionally,
Right.
and family, non-family, just decisions, period. Because you don't get do-overs. And
Right.
you and I come from a world of you don't get do-overs. And look, life expectancy of a US United States Marine Corps infantry grunt, 7 seconds, right? So just think about that. We had to make decisions fly on the fly and then own it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I'm learning that I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I don't have to rush. I can really think about what I want to do, how I want to do it, and then do it. And then once it's done, most of the times now I'm finding out I can get a do-over. You know what I'm saying?
Would you
So
say I
going
did?
from going from the world of not having a do-over to having a do-over, it's a big difference. So it's actually I'm learning energy. I'm big on energy now. It just brings more positive energy with me. Now when I go and do my runs in the morning at 4 in the morning, I still do them. I know why. That's part of my
Yeah.
woosah, and that's part of my. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do all that. I'll run 20,000 miles, or
So
I'll go to the gym and lift 900 pounds, or I'll do 900 million push-ups or crunches.
right.
That's my cigarette. That's my smoke. That's my depressor, as you may say. So everybody has one. I don't care who you are. And
Right. Yeah.
look,
It and I
35 years of the military, I never used an alarm clock. If you tell
nice.
me to be up at 0201, I'm up at 0201. You tell me to be up at 0335, I'm up at 0335.
Right.
Without
And I'm because you said some wonderful things, but you mentioned scary,
uh,
and let's dig into that.
scary.
What was it? What was it when you start to look back and analyze yourself, which we all know is a choice? What was it that you go, man, that's scary? Or like when I did it, I was like, man, I was very emotional when I was doing certain, I felt
Hmm.
bad. What was
Hmm.
it for you?
Yeah, and that's what I when I say scary, you wanna try to get things right. You know what I mean? And I scared some of the decisions I have made, and we strive for perfection. What is that?
Yeah.
Some of the decisions that I have made, if I could do over, I probably would. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying it was scary because I had most of the time when I'm thinking and when I'm doing something now, I reflect because there's always a situation there that may not be exactly like what you went through, but has some similarities there. So
Right.
I reflect back on those things because it also it's just sense of like, wow, you have to pause and say, man, am I doing this or did I do that? So I had to tell myself, the past is the past, and now I'm striving to be a better me for the future. So that's when I said scary. Um, it made me reflect on some things. And then not only just what I did in the military, but as far as my personal life, my marriage,
Mm.
my daughters, my family, my godson, everybody that I close, we are a circle. I don't have a big circle, and I know you don't even, Mario. So those that's in my circle, I hold them near and dear to my heart. So now I'm able to uh be at certain events that I was not able to be at.
Right.
So it's a lot of reflecting on, wow. And then I would say this. I knew this day was coming. When I mean that day is retirement, I knew it was coming. So I would say me and you at the level we were at, we started transitioning a long time ago. But what helps you to do that is people, understanding people. And I tell my wife all the time, my most powerful attribute that I think I have is my ability to adjust.
Hmm.
I will adjust, and I'll adjust quickly. Thinking about what things were when I came, September '88. A lot of things. Oh, don't ask, don't tell. This combat, women in combat, all these things that you wouldn't even let come out of your mouth. It's reality now.
Yeah,
So
and
and
and you
and
and you
same
know,
thing in
sir,
the civilian world.
and
Go ahead.
I've seen a lot of veterans that we'll talk to folks who served for quite some time. They
Mhm,
struggle with adjusting for
mhm,
various reasons. But like
mhm,
you mentioned, you started to self reflect, which is a choice. You started to see things that maybe you didn't realize. Maybe your level of active listening, or maybe
mhm,
being engaged. Who
mhm,
knows? Those
mhm,
all of those things you're going, man. Wait a minute, I was at the event, but I wasn't at the event. I
mhm.
wasn't actively engaged. Um, but
So,
has there been anything that you've noticed about you that now you're going, I'm going to improve this thing or these things now that I'm out?
I'll tell you what I noticed real fast. If I didn't like something and I didn't want to hear it, I'll drown you out. I'll overrule the conversation. I will not let you get your
Mm,
point across. We talking, it's just like me and you having this dialogue right now. I would say something or just, keep the focus on me, but not letting you speak your piece because that was my way of saying I didn't want it. I don't want to hear it. So active listening, I'm like, I've learned to shut up, like take it in and listen to what a person may say. I'm not going to always going to agree, but I did afford them the opportunity to do. I found I was doing that bad. I think that was that Sergeant Major in me. Like, yeah, you may be saying something that's right, but I'm not hearing you totally. So, but I learned that that's bad. That's bad. And I would tell anybody, active listening is an art and it requires patience. Remember we talked about other day I was talking to you, my faith, patience, and my communication.
yeah.
Those are the three things that, whoa, faith, I'm when I say faith, I want to build on it. I want to use it in my dialogue. I'm a Christian. I'm believing it. I want to be able to speak it and know and then just stopping and understanding that and realize when you say faith, I don't believe in throwing it on anyone. But if you come into my house, you'll see signs all of me and my wife. We live by Christian rules and also that's just how once you're in my four walls, hey, that's that's the warning order right there.
and
So,
that and that's valuable what you brought up, because like you said, there's people have everyone has their own belief system.
mhm,
And if and like you said, you value people, but
mhm,
when people are speaking their belief to another person, they cut them off. They automatically go, well, just because my what I'm saying doesn't align with your belief system. Now I am not of value. And it's
mhm,
cool that you recognize that because you were doing that,
mhm,
I know you. And I
mhm.
know you weren't going, you're not valuable, human.
No, no, I'm not.
But
No,
but
you're
but
never.
people but people who don't recognize that will develop a personal brand of, this guy, if you're not saying what this person wants to hear, they're not going to listen to you. They're going to talk over you. And
Mhm.
man, that's because there's a lot of people that can't do what you just did and say what you
Yeah,
just said. That's extreme.
yeah.
Extreme. I'm
Now
serious, man.
they won't own it because that's a blind spot. That's a
Yeah.
blind spot that initially you know what you're doing, and then after like anything, it becomes a habit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You use it. It's a good tool to use in certain situations, but when you make it a part of who you are, and every time you approach tense situations or situations where you don't totally agree with someone, that's not good because
Right.
nobody's always right, you know.
Mm-mm.
So started with my faith, rolled it into patience. You and I know patience, patience, being patient. When I mean patient, I'm talking about A to Z, just being my ability to wait and know that it's God's timing. I'm using that religion reference again. It's the God's timing. And I always say that I I just had to stop and be patient with a lot of
Yeah.
situations that I was dealing with in life, you know. And wow, and it's just when you even say the word patience, you feel it like a whoosh. It's that whoosah come through the body. It's like it's a sense of at ease. And when you say patience, and I'm looking for stress-free type things in my life. Give me
Yeah.
some this non-stressors. I don't want any stressors, you know. So
Right.
patience, that when I allow myself to be patient about a very situation, whatever it may be, personal, professional, or my whatever, or my family, I feel like it's a sense of ease come over. And then
Yeah.
communicate. This right here. Listening to people's stories and telling my story. And telling it with truthfulness, honesty. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hide anything. You know what I mean? And communication can be verbal, it can be just written, or just get in front of people and just telling them because you never know. I may say something that's going to inspire and uplift somebody. You know what I mean? So those three things is I'm still working on it, and I'm getting better at it. You
Well,
know.
my friend, and listeners and viewers, you guys heard it. I mean, in everything that Cortez has mentioned, those are skills. That's not a natural thing to be able to understand the power of communication, and then really to self-reflect and go, how am I communicating daily? And that's your nonverbals, your verbals, written, patience, being listening to people, just listening and not listening to be like you mentioned, Cortez, to be fake, right? Be authentic.
Oh
Actually
yeah.
listen, value what they're saying. Who cares if
Yeah.
they're not saying, value what they're saying, but self-reflecting all kicks off with the choice of, are you willing to self-reflect? Are you willing to take a look at yourself, identify things that might be scary, you might not like what you see, you might love what you see, with which, my next topic of conversation is, but now let's talk about one thing when you reflected back outside of your passion for people, because I love that one and I've seen you do it, man. But one thing you reflect back and you go, now that I like that, and I'm gonna keep that skill. I'm gonna keep that one, and I'm gonna grow that sucker.
uh-huh. Inspiring others,
Yeah,
inspiring others.
man.
I love seeing others excel when they had doubt in their mind, and you remember them times when you had to come and come here, let me talk to you. You know, you can do this. If
Yeah,
you say no to just about anything initially, that's the outcome probably gonna be no if you don't develop that will and the determination to fight and see whatever you're trying to do, to see whatever you're trying to accomplish through, you know. So inspiring others. I love getting in front of people and inspire them and lift them and motivate. And then listen with a purpose. Remember that other thing I was working on? Listening with a purpose. You listen to them, you're like, I know what route to go on. And then you use whatever they likeness, that knowledge of football, sports, whatever it may be. You drive that home and you inspire them through that. And I guarantee it works, you know, and that works for young and old. You know what I mean? So I just like inspiring people to bring out the best in them when they
well,
feel
you
like they can.
Well,
You know what I
every
mean?
time you and I talk, I'm smiling.
No, we make each other smile because we
Hey,
kind of we like minded. We think a lot alike, and we have the you. I've seen you do the same thing. It's amazing when you can come into a room, especially Marines, where we come from, the hardest headed individuals in the world. they and then and when you're talking and you and watch what you say, because when you put it out there in the universe, they looking. That ain't
yeah,
true, Sergeant Major. They'll tell you, you know what I mean? So I just really like inspiring people. That
yeah.
right there. That's one
Well,
that I'm trying to build on, you
Well,
know.
I believe this episode will continue to do that, man, in audio and on the YouTube channel.
Mhm,
Cortez, you're having fun. And oh, one last thing before I give you, would like to hear your last piece of advice. Is the cool thing too about watching you myself, but more so you on this one because you're the guest. Is how
mhm.
when we retire, we become a private first class. We become recruits to
Oh,
our spouse.
I'm Mr. Brown.
Driver.
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, don't look.
Look,
You
look,
already know I'm a
I'm
sergeant
joking.
major. Look,
It's a joke, but it's funny how we go from all of these responsibilities. And even my wife, she's like, Mario, I'm the your passenger queen." I'm like, "I'm your chauffeur. Call me Recruit Fields, call me Pulley Mario." We joke about it, but that's the
yeah.
beauty of it.
So I'll share this with you, Mario. I have astroturf. In California, grass don't,
Yeah,
some places it just don't grow. So I got astroturf. My morning thing, I'll go out every morning. I'll pick up leaves or whatever. I can't stand to see nothing. Well, my wife think I'm kind of crazy, but it's just
to the
one of
detail.
those things. It's one of those things that I'm just a stickler for that. The little bitty things like it'll be weeds or leaves on the ground or whatever. Anything that's on that as it's coming up. I'm gonna that's my like woosah moment. And she knows I can't stand it. I do it every day, making sure. I think we probably have the cleanest yard in the on the block because and I don't do it for okay, that's just me. It's soothing for me because I go out there and I do a lot of self-reflecting on what's going
Mhm.
on, what the day may bring, what I got to do in the future, and just how it's going. It's just almost form of gardening for me.
Yeah,
And I think gardening is therapeutic for a lot of people. So picking up and making sure my astroturf is free of debris is
my man.
therapeutic for me.
You guys heard it from Cortez, my friend. Guys, lots of amazing, literally tips that you can use in any industry, man. Soft skills,
Mhm,
we call them human skills, self-reflecting, communication, active
mhm,
listening. They pay top dollars out there. Attention to detail. But the thing I want everyone to remember too, and thank you so much, my friend, is find a spot, find a place, find an
mhm,
activity that's therapeutic to you where you can become a better version of you. Whatever
yeah.
that version is, you only define that sucker. And I use that metaphor, but find a better version of you. My friend, any last piece, last piece of advice who you would like to give the listeners and viewers before we go?
I would just say, reference to what you're saying, be true to you. Understand who you are. Understand what your dreams and ambitions and goals are. And let no one tell you you can't.
Amen.
No one walking this earth, you know. And I don't want to go back to the religion faith, but that's just where I'm at now. Man of above going to tell you that if you believe. But I just say, know you. Know you, know what inspires you, know what uplifts you, know what motivates you, and you see it through. And I just know right now we have so many opportunities in this world today, and every day you live there's something new that can inspire and motivate and drive to you to whatever you're trying to accomplish. Go for it. Don't let no one set you down and stop you. Whatever it may be, the scientist, man on the moon, or doing whatever it may be. Just I just big on not trying to deflate anybody's dreams.
Right. Yeah.
You
Nice.
get what I'm
Well,
saying?
oh, hey man, I'm with and the cool thing for me, I've seen it. So and I'm still seeing it. But everyone, because Court, I will break the entire platform because I love this guy. We're gonna talk some more after this, but you guys know the deal. I will see you guys. I always say that. I'm gonna work on that. I'm self-reflecting here. Hopefully you'll hear me or see me on the YouTube channel in a couple of weeks. But until next time, God bless you. God bless your family members, and God bless your friends. I'll see you later, man.